March 17th. True courage. Those who make it through these times show a courage not their own. Basic text, page 86. Before coming to NA, many of us thought we were brave simply because we had never experienced fear. We had drugged all our feelings, fear among them, until we had convinced ourselves that we were tough, courageous people who wouldn't crack under any circumstances. But finding our courage in drugs has nothing to do with the way we live our lives today. Clean and in recovery, we are bound to feel frightened at times. When we first realize we are feeling frightened, we may think we are cowards. We're afraid to pick up the phone because the person on the other end might not understand. We're afraid to ask someone to sponsor us because they might say no. We're afraid to look for a job. We're afraid to be honest with our friends. But all of these fears are natural, even healthy. What's not healthy is allowing fear to paralyze us. When we permit our fear to stop our growth, we will be defeated. True courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the willingness to walk through it. Just for today, I will be courageous today. When I'm afraid, I'll do what I need to do to grow in recovery. I'm Herb the Addictaholic. This is just for today. And, true courage. Fear, it exists. It's a necessity to some extent. It goes back to primitive days when we were being hunted and we needed a certain element of fear to keep us alive. These days we're not hunted, so we tend to create fears that are not real, in a way to satisfy that aspect of our primitive mind, the fight or flight, whatever it is, so we create things in our world to fear. But really, there's nothing to fear. Fear is the opposite of love. And the more we can let go of fear, not to the extent that we're going to walk and jump into a volcano or put our hand in a shark's mouth, that's ridiculous. And it can be argued in semantics if you want to go that route, but typically just the absence of fear. You could jump into the ocean without fear that you're going to be attacked by a shark every time. Sometimes it may happen, but not every time. And the majority of the time, it's not going to happen. But to fear it constantly and not go in the ocean because there's a shark in there somewhere, that's kind of like limiting ourselves and our experiences, and limiting the possibility of enjoying a nice swim in the ocean, the ability to learn how to surf or sail or whatever. There's a lot of stuff in the ocean, and it can be a good time. The fear of drowning, learn how to swim, challenge yourself, and that's what I'm doing. Anytime I find that I have a fear, I go at it. I used to fear calling the bank when I had an overdraft fee. But now I'm like, I'm gonna call that bank. I'm gonna talk to those people, and they're just people, and maybe they'll help me get some of that money back. Well, hopefully I'm not overdrafting anymore, but you get what I'm saying. So the point is, overcome those fears, and that's true courage. Is facing it and knowing that it exists and that there's a healthy amount of it out there, but don't let it paralyze you. And I won't let it paralyze me either. Thank you guys for coming out. Hope to see you tomorrow. Keep coming back. It works if you work it.